The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. The legend lives here.
Clark underneath, scoop shot up, it's good, the basket will count. How did she do that?
Kind of good to get back in my groove a little bit.
Rebound Dowling, Ellie Moeller, pass to Tritton, to Zedeker, back to Katie Moeller for three, up good.
This is Maroon Nation.
Pull-up jumper, good. Dowling takes the lead.
They're battle tested. One of the things that makes Dowling special is everything we do is hard, all day. These guys are always challenged.
His shot at the horn, no good, and Dowling has won it. Dowling has won it.
Dowling Catholic High School basketball is on the air. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Fast Signs, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, Iowa Wealth Management, and Bosun the Florist. Welcome to the Maroon Pregame Show. Here's Mark Amadeo.
And a very pleasant good morning and welcome to the Boys State Basketball Tournament here at the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines alongside Jimmy Cataldo. I am Mark Amadeo as we're getting set for our pregame ceremony since we are the first game of the morning. We're going to have the national anthem. So with that, we're going to send it back to the studios. Brady Grimm is our studio producer as we interrupt programming for the Boys State Basketball Tournament. Dowling and Cedar Falls, the semifinals in Class 4A, Iowa's largest class in boys basketball. And we're going to send it back to the studios. We're going to get a word from Dr. Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, and Father Reed Flood with our pregame prayer. So let's do that coming up here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network as we have pregame going on here at the Boys State Basketball Tournament here in downtown Des Moines.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School, and welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School basketball. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting basketball, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Reed Flood. Let us pray together for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition this evening. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask that you bless all those involved in this athletic competition this evening. We ask that you keep them safe, and that they show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Sebastian, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Support for programming provided by Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients grow and protect their wealth, offering personalized investment strategies as well as financial and estate planning. Learn more at iowawealth.com, committed to creating peace and purpose in your finances.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bosun the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bosun. Bosun.com, 515-244-ROSE. Bosun makes the moment mean more. Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com.
All right, welcome back to the Casey Center here in downtown Des Moines, the Boys State Basketball Tournament 2026 session, alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadeo. As we sit on ice here at the Casey Center as the hockey arena is still standing, but we put the floor over it, and my feet are already cold. Jimmy Cataldo, welcome. Breakfast at Casey Center, and there's no breakfast pizza, so thanks for checking into that.
I see a lot of media with donuts and juice and...
Not at this table.
I have a shot of water. That's okay. But regardless, I mean, there's really not much, appetite. But other than this game,
absolutely,
probably the biggest challenge Dowling has faced this year in playing number one Cedar Falls, undefeated team that matches up well. Both teams have size. Both teams have great guard play. Both teams are battle tested, and this should be one of the best semifinal matchups down here at Casey Center this year.
No question. Dowling fans showing up because spring break kind of started today. It actually starts tomorrow, but they're off today. And I'll tell you what, the fans are here. Cedar Falls brought their student body, and it's the first game in the morning, so They're introducing all the players. They had the national anthem and all that session, all the hyperbole that goes before a game, of getting the kids fired up and making an experience for the fans and somewhat the media.
Well, if I'm a player, I embrace this early morning game. This is a game that, have you play later in the day or evening, you're thinking about it all day, whether you're in class or not.
Correct.
It's on your mind all day, every day, until that matchup comes. So it's a buildup of emotions. But playing in the morning, it's really wake up, routine, eat, quick shoot around, get to the arena, dress, and get going. So there's not a whole lot of thought that went into getting ready to play this game, at least today.
Well, Dowling and Cedar Falls did not meet this year. They met back in February of 2023 right here in the sub-state semifinals up in Cedar Falls, and it was Cedar Falls defeating Dowling 64-56. And then back in 2020, right before the COVID pandemic hit, Dowling played Cedar Falls here at the state tournament and lost to them in the first round 64-62. So these two teams have played here at the Casey Center, which was then Wells Fargo Arena. So that's the two times they played recently. But as you mentioned this morning, it's going to be quite the matchup. Both teams have big guys. Both teams have guards that are pretty good. We're going to see what happens. And Cedar Falls has a 23-game winning streak. Their last loss was to Waukee Northwest a year ago, almost to the day, in the semifinals. Waukee Northwest knocked off Cedar Falls 57-49, and then Valley beat Northwest in the championship game the following game. So that's the little history with Cedar Falls. Dowling, well, the Maroons are 21-3, and they lost their last regular season game of the season, and they've been on a roll since, and they look pretty good in their first round win on Monday night as Dowling defeated Dubuque Senior 63-45. So, Jimmy, I'll let you go through some of the keys to this morning's contest.
You look at Cedar Falls, and they're loaded with some D1 talent. Leading the way is Will Gertis. He's a 6'9 senior, committed to UNI, scored 28 points, 15 rebounds in the first-round matchup against Urbandale. Jaden Kimbrough, 6-foot guard. He's uncommitted. He decommitted from Winona State. His stock has continued to rise, and he's going to land himself a nice college location here in the near future. He scored 28 points against Urbandale. And then quarterback and center, Leighton Wolf, 6'8". I call him quarterback because he was a quarterback for Cedar Falls football team. 7 rebounds against Urbandale. So those 3 individuals are big-time players for Cedar Falls. But the matchup with Dowling, I love it because you have the size that can match up with Cedar Falls size. Alfred Coley is probably going to guard Will Gertis. Will Gertis is a little bit better in the post action, and Alfred Coley does a great job. Just got to stay out of foul trouble. You're able to put Charlie Crane on Leighton Wolf, and then the best defending guard for the Maroons, and maybe in Central Iowa, Nate Jenkins, is going to take on Jaden Kimbrough. So these matchups look really, really good. What does this come down to? I think it's Dowling's ability to get the ball in the middle, as we saw in the first game. Noah Martin's got to be able to play downhill, straight downhill. If defenders come off his teammates, Noah Martin's got to keep his head up, find the open guy, and then the Maroons have to knock down shots. It's just one of these big games. If you shoot the ball, you got to knock them down or find those offensive rebounds. Cedar Falls, you're battle tested. You know, you get the ball to Gertis, Kimbrough, and let Wolf manage it around the key. But regardless, 0-0 records today. Dowling has not made a semifinal game in 36 years. So uncharted territory for Dowling. Should be a great, great matchup.
Yeah, not since 1992, and it's been that long since the Maroons advanced to the semifinals. We should mention Cedar Falls defeated Urbandale on Tuesday morning, 73-53 in their first-round game. And, of course, Dowling with the win over Dubuque Senior on Monday afternoon, 63-45. Both teams on the floor, and Dowling will have Alfred Coley jumping center, a 6'8 junior, averaging double-double as they dim the lights, put the strobe lights out, and getting the fans all ready to go. They're introducing the officials as we speak, but for Dowling, it'll be Alfred Coley jumping center. Nate Jenkins, Noah Martins, and Maddox Capola, the 3 guards, along with center Charlie Crane, a 6'10 senior for Cedar Falls, and head coach Ryan Schultz in his 13th year. They will start Parker Burns at point guard, 6'2 senior wearing number 1. The other guard is Carson Gary, 6'2 sophomore, who was a second-team All-State receiver for them, wearing number 23. Along with Leighton Wolf, a 6'8". He's an off guard, if you will. Will Gertis headed to UNI, a 6'9 senior, as you talked about, wearing number 32. And Jaden Kimbrough, 6'2 senior, wearing number 30, averaging 19.5 points. So we're just about set. Officials are Matt Scholl and Pat Ensminger from Mount Pleasant and Mark Worth from Mediapolis. Jimmy?
I think it becomes really important to see how the officials are going to call this game. I think there's going to be a lot of hand checking, a lot of bodies. Are the officials going to let them play through it like we saw in the first round matchups, or are they going to call it tight? I think either way, the Maroons have got to adjust to that.
Well, Dowling gets the ball first, and Maroons go right to left in their road maroon uniforms. Underneath with the shot no good by Nate Jenkins. Reverse layup from the right side. Rebound out to Cedar Falls. The Tigers with it. They dribble baseline. This is Kimbrough with it. Underneath, the shot blocked by Charlie Crane. They get it inside to Gertis, the UNI commit, and Crane with the first block.
And Gertis went up against both Alfred Coley and Crane. Crane getting a piece of that. First block of the night.
Now near steal by Kimbrough over there, and it's knocked out of bounds right in front of the Cedar Falls bench. Dowling, the visiting team, they're right across from us as we sit on press row next to one of your college buddies, Jess Settles, who's calling the TV side of things. Boy, there was a lot of love there between you two. Baseball and basketball. You on the baseball team at Iowa, and Jess wore his Hawkeye shoes. I like that guy.
We didn't get too many Hawkeye shoes, but I tell you, to be able to reminisce about some of the guys we used to hang around with.
Now, Martin's down the lane, try to go split the defenders, Jimmy, and he travels with the basketball, turnover against the Maroons.
But 2 times down the court, we're seeing Noah Martin's been able to attack the ball down the middle of the lane, which that helps everybody else around him because he's able to kick out if he has to. He got guys cutting the baseline, or he's able to shoot. That time he got caught up in the turnover.
He's got great vision. Now a long three. Bank shot, no good. And an offensive rebound and putback by Leighton Wolf, good. And our first score of the morning, 2-0 Cedar Falls here in the 4A semifinals.
Well, that time Kimbrough took on a couple different bodies. No call, so a little bit, you could tell maybe the officials are going to let them play a little bit tonight or this morning.
Dowling with the ball. Both teams will run man-to-man. Here's Capola on the baseline. Pull-up jumper up. Good! Maddox Capola, a little 10-foot jump shot over Leighton Wolf.
Maddox Capola is a senior playing in his third year as a varsity player. This is a game Maddox Capola has to thrive in. This stage is not big enough for him that he's going to set in pretty comfortable in it.
Now Carson Gary in the lane. His shot no good as he finally got it over to Wolf. He left it short. Rebound Dowling. And here is Capola in the front court to Coley, guarded by Wolf. Now they dribble handoff to Martins. He's double teamed. They're going to keep him from penetrating. You can see everybody sag off their defenders, Jimmy, when Noah has the ball. Here's Capola with the right elbow. Now to Crane. Back to Capola, top of the key. 15 on the shot clock. Dowling right to left towards the south basket. Over to Coley. In the corner to Jenkins. Back to Coley for 3. Up, off the mark, no good. And a rebound, Kimbrough. And Cedar Falls, Jaden Kimbrough. Dribbles in the front court. Leaves it for Gertis. The UNI recruit looking for a backdoor cut. Can't get it to Gary. Now out top to Burns. Burns over to Gertis on the baseline. And a pass over to Wolf, and it's swatted away by Charlie Crane in the hands of Dowling and and Jenkins, excuse me.
Forceful block by Crane.
Charlie's good with help defense. Wasn't against Dubuque Senior. The first 2 shots by Senior were blocked, both by Crane. So he's picking up where he left off. And now a pass over the baseline. Somebody cut the wrong way and turnover against Dowling.
Well, that's the second time that Nate Jenkins has found himself on the baseline, his normal left side baseline. And the last 2 possessions, I don't think he was ready to catch the pass. Ball worked around the last time. Alfred Coley finds him and wasn't really ready to shoot the ball. And I think that's a point Nate Jenkins has to look to shoot the ball.
Got to get settled. Got to get settled in here. And he'll pick it up. One of the captains you're talking about with Nate Jenkins. And now here's Cedar Falls with the basket. A shot up and good. And the Tigers now lead 4-2 as Will Gertis with his first basket of the morning. 4-2 Cedar Falls over Dowling. 4:30 left to go first quarter. A reminder, we have our spring fundraiser going on Iowa Catholic Radio. Long 3, good by Martins. Noah with the 3-pointer from the top of the key. And Dowling takes its first lead, 5-4.
Cedar Falls was switching everything that time on picks, and that time Noah Martins found himself with Gertis. A lot of space, knocks down the three.
Cedar Falls, the ball bounces around, a long three. It's no good by Will Gertis. Rebound Dowling on an air ball. You hear the Dowling fans behind us yelling air ball. Capola with the rebound. Here's Coley on the baseline, and we got a charging foul on Alfred. Took the first step, put the shoulder down. Offensive foul, Alfred Coley, turnover against Dowling.
Wow, not an expected call I think I would see. Looked like Alfred had a little bit of space to the baseline. I don't think it was a square of a hit. Official, though, saw it right at it. Saw it as a charge.
So turnover against Dowling, and Cedar Falls with the basketball. Dowling 5, Cedar Falls 4. 3 minutes, 50 seconds remaining, first quarter. From the Casey Center here in downtown Des Moines as we interrupt regularly scheduled programming on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network to bring you Boys State basketball. Now they lob the ball inside to Gertis, poked away by Coley. He gets the pass over to Jenkins, layup good. Nate Jenkins, a no-look layup because he looked like he was going to pass it and score with the left hand, and Dowling up 7-4.
Dowling's playing fast on turnovers. Coley has to be a little bit careful on the reach end as he's sitting with 1-2.
Well, right in front of us and right in front of you. Kimbrough for 3, good, and that kid can light it up. That is his 56th made 3 of the year and leads obviously the Cedar Falls team in that category. And scores now tied at 7 with 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Now Martins underneath. His shot off the glass, no good. Put back up and good by Noah Martins. Fouled his own shot and stayed with it. 5 points for Noah.
That basket was surrounded by Charlie Crane, Alfred Coley, and comes off the front of the rim right to Noah Martins for the putback.
Right, here's Kimbrough with it for Cedar Falls. Dowling stays man-to-man on defense. They work it over to Gertis. Now they get the ball inside. Traveling as they got the ball to Leighton Wolf, and he traveled right at the free throw line, Jimmy.
Wow, it's something I'm so locked in on what Nate Jenkins and Jaden Kimbrough are doing on the defensive side. I think Nate is finally settling into this game a little bit. Face guarding Kimbrough wherever he goes. It seems like that was so important to see that the Maroons this early morning, who's going to settle in. Gio Killis coming in for Capola at that last dead ball.
9-7 Dowling, 2:25 remaining, first quarter. Killis on the baseline has the ball stripped away as he tried to attack the glass from the right side, and it's knocked out of bounds. Dowling basketball underneath. Interesting to see what this out-of-bounds play will be. I know they were working on something here as
got some
Martins will throw it in. And the Maroons are just going to go regular out-of-bounds, and they get it into Killis. Right elbow, and put up a shot up, and it's blocked. Blocked underneath by Gertis. Rebound, Cedar Falls. Now here's Mason Woltz in there, number 14, and he throws it away. Stolen away by Dowling underneath, layup, good! Noah Martins with the basket and a foul on Cedar Falls. I think they're going to get Gertis for the foul, we'll see. But what a move by Dowling. It started right in front of us here, Jimmy, and went all the way down court.
Well, any deflected turnover, and the Maroons are out and running, and that's what you like to see. I believe the foul was on Carson Gary, number 23.
It is. And free throws coming for Noah Martins, who has 7 points, make it 8. Free throw good. 8 points for Noah Martins, and Dowling's lead is now 5, their largest of the morning. 12-7 Dowling, 2 minutes to play, first quarter from the Boys State Basketball Tournament, Class 4A semifinals. Now, pull-up jumper by Kimbrough, blocked by Crane. That's his third of the first quarter. Rebound Dowling, runs in transition to Coley. Now to Killis, Gio with it, dribbles down the lane. Head fake, a shot off the glass. It hits the side of the backboard, no good. Gio might have forced it just a bit. Rebound comes out to Cedar Falls. Tigers in the front court, Woltz with it. Mason Woltz, 6'3", 180-pound junior in it as reserve. Now they double team Gertis, and a whistle and a reaching foul on Coley, and that'll be his second.
That's what you can't see early in the game is Alfred Coley just can't find that second foul.
They're going to get Evan Mitchell in there for Dowling, and he'll replace Coley. Mitchell, a 6'4", 245-pound sophomore. And he and Charlie Crane will be the two bigs for Dowling here, Jimmy.
So it's a great opportunity to be able to get Mitchell into this game at this part of where Mitchell missed the latter part of the season with injury. Him being healthy allows Coach Einertson and Dowling staff to go to another big guy that is going to provide some help with the two guys that are going to be big for Cedar Falls.
All right, Parker Burns back in for Cedar Falls. They get the ball on the right block to Gertis. Now they get it out top of the key. Now Gertis underneath. His shot no good. Drew the foul, and he hits the deck. Foul will be on Dowling, and they'll charge it to.
Yeah, Crane.
It'll be Charlie Crane, number 10, with the foul. And it'll be free throws coming for Will Gertis. Headed to play basketball on the other side of town at UNI.
So those are 3 fouls that we've seen in 3 different possessions, starting with Noah Martins taking the ball, kind of a touch foul on his shot. And these last 2 calls on Dowling were a little less than what we've seen go by in the first matchups. So the officials may be playing this thing a little bit more tight. Both teams will need to adjust.
Minute to play here in the first quarter. 12-8, Dowling with the lead. Here's Mitchell with it, top of the key, gets to Martins, who's guarded by Burns. Dowling with the ball right to left towards the south basket, wearing their maroon uniforms and white numbers. Now they get the ball on the baseline to Mitchell, and the ball is, tipped away.
Tipped away on the baseline, turnover.
Oh, they say he stepped on the baseline, did Mitchell. So he stepped on the line, out of bounds, and turnover against Dowling. I got it. So here's Wolf throwing it in. They'll get it to Kimbrough. Kimbrough and Burns will be the point guard. This time Kimbrough brings it up, gets it to Burns. Dowling stays man-to-man. 35 seconds remaining in the quarter, 20 on the shot clock. Dowling 12, Cedar Falls 8. There's a near steal by Crane. Got his hand in the passing lane with 10 on the shot clock. Kimbrough with it. Guarded by Jenkins. Now underneath, a shot off the glass, good. Nice strong move that time by Leighton Wolf. He has 4 points this morning.
All set up by the pump fake. Got Evan Mitchell off his feet and was able to get around him. And at that point, it was Leighton Wolf right to the basket. Can't lose your feet. Let the kid shoot the three-point shot.
All right, 2 seconds remaining. And Dowling doesn't get a shot off. So we've come to the end of the first quarter here at the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines. Our score, Dowling Catholic 12, number 1 and undefeated Cedar Falls 10, alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale. We'll return to the Casey Center with the second quarter of this Class 4A boys state semifinal on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for programming provided by Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients grow and protect their wealth, offering personalized investment strategies as well as financial and estate planning. Learn more at iowawealth.com, committed to creating peace and purpose in your finances.
Do you believe in the importance of Catholic education? Do you owe Iowa income tax this year? Consider a gift to the Catholic Tuition Organization to help worthy students attend Catholic schools in the diocese and receive an Iowa tax credit of 75% of your donation. If you give $1,000 to CTO, you'll receive a tax credit of $750. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their futures.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Welcome back to the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines as we preempt regular scheduled programming here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network to bring you boys state tournament basketball, Class 4A semifinals. Dowling leading 12-10 over number 1 ranked Cedar Falls, alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale. I want to remind you, hey, we have our spring fundraiser going on Iowa Catholic Radio. You can donate at iowacatholicradio.com. Just hit the donate button, and we do have people standing by as our fundraiser continues today. 515-223-1150 if you wish to make a pledge. 515-223-1150. Coach Cataldo, I put your name in the hat, and I have a number next to your name. I'll let you know at the end of the game.
Fantastic.
If we get it matched. We appreciate your donation. Coach Cataldo.
If you knew me, I mean, a lot of people know me that I don't win anything. So usually when I get involved in any type of raffle, it's usually a donation for me.
You were telling Jess Settles a great story about you being at a Dowling or at an Iowa basketball game, and had to do with a certain number that you needed, and it didn't pan out for you. So you are correct when you say stuff like that. We're underway here in the second quarter. Cedar Falls with the basketball, left to right, wearing their home white uniforms. Underneath is Wolf, and his shot up and no good, and whistle and a foul on Coppola, I believe. And let's see if this is a shooting foul. Yep, Maddox will get charged the foul. They reset the shot. They reset the foul clock, the fouls. That'll be the first foul on Dowling here in the second quarter. 5 fouls, and it's an automatic 2 shots to rest the game. There is no more 1-and-1 in high school basketball. And at the line will be Leighton Wolf, who has 4 points this morning. Jimmy, you got to look at some of the numbers from the first quarter.
First quarter, I'm keeping track of some blocks. Maroons get 2 early blocks in the first quarter, had 5 rebounds, 3 turnovers, shot 1 of 2 from 3, 4 of 10 from the field for 40%. They went 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Cedar Falls, 1 block in the first quarter, 7 rebounds. They had 4 turnovers, went 1 of 1 from the three-point arc, and are shooting 5 of 10 from the field.
Got an injury here as Wolf is going to head to the line, the 6'8 senior. Long family of players at Cedar Falls, the Wolf family, and they're attending to Evan Mitchell, who got the start in the second quarter for Alfred Coley, who was in foul trouble, but they're wrapping up the right knee of Evan Mitchell. Now, he's missed time this year with his back, and of course
I think his knee drew a little bit of blood because
they're doing a little mop-up job with the blood there. You're right, underneath the basket.
So, I mean, regardless, Evan Mitchell has to come out of the game, which brings in Alfred Coley. As we mentioned, he's sitting with 2 fouls, and he's just drawn a huge defensive assignment, having to guard Will Gertis. You may want to see probably a switch up because I think Gertis will give him a lot more moves at the post and opportunities for fouls.
All right, Wolf's free throw no good. Cedar Falls 1 for 2 at the line in the first quarter, now 1 for 3. Dowling was 1 for 1 at the free throw line. Crane made that and 1. Second free throw up, good. Dowling's lead is now 12-11 over Cedar Falls. 7 minutes, 40 seconds remaining here in the second quarter from the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines. Dowling with the ball, they work left side. Jenkins with it. Nate with it, dribbles the top of the key, looks inside, can't get it to Coley. Now over to Coppola, who's back in. Maddox with it, looking. Now will launch the 3, up and off the mark, no good. Rebound, Cedar Falls and Parker Burns. Good look at the basket that time by Dowling. And Burns comes away with the rebound. Now here's Kimbrough with it, guarded by Jenkins. We want to know who the other team's best player is. See who Nate Jenkins for Dowling is guarding, and right now they're concerned more about Jaden Kimbrough, and a whistle and a foul away from the basket on Dowling.
Kimbrough's stock has just completely rose this year.
That's a 3rd foul on Alfred Coley, so that is not good. So the Maroons are going to have to go with a smaller lineup. Keyless will check in for Coley. Ouch. So mark the time, 7:06 to go, second quarter.
I would imagine they're going to have to sit Alfred this entire.
Yes, they will. Now, Cedar Falls with the basketball, and they're looking inside, and they drew a foul. This one will be on Charlie Crane, and he's got 2 fouls. And that'll be the bugaboo for Dowling. You get the 2 big guys in foul trouble, which hasn't happened much this year. Sending to the free throw line, Will Gertis. First free throw good. Gertis with 4 points this morning. 2 of 3 at the free throw line. Today's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Bozen the Florist, Ashworth Vision Clinic, Iowa Wealth Management, and Construction Professionals. Second free throw no good. Rebound Crane and Dowling. Now we've got a timeout, Dowling, and tied at 12. 7:01 to go here in the second quarter, and we'll see what this is all about. Looks like it's going to be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here.
So I think, what's going on in this situation, I think Coach Einertson's getting a little upset with the calls, at least at the basket, because, some of those look to be very, very clean blocks, and it looks like the whistle's being called before the contact even happened. So, think it's so important that you can't assume that there's going to be contact, that you have to see it. And I think that's one thing I think Coach Einertson is starting to challenge a little bit, and the officials got to be really, really good at, because they're officiating a game with a lot of bigs, a lot of guys who are real quick and athletic, and it's certainly got to be a situation where you see the foul, you call the foul. And in this situation, you got Alfred Coley sitting on the bench with 3 fouls. Maroons are in a tough situation at this point.
Cedar Falls from the Mississippi Valley Conference, the Valley Division, finished in first place, obviously, at 13-0. Cedar Rapids Prairie finished second. They're 8th, and they were in this tournament. Dowling with the ball. And a missed shot by Martins, but a slam dunk rebound by Charlie Crane. And you heard the Dowling fans behind us celebrate that. Crane with his first basket.
Set up play, Charlie Crane giving the pick at the free throw line, then attacking the basket, and he's there for the miss and the putback.
Dowling regains the lead, 14-12. And now underneath, a little high-low. A shot blocked underneath, put back up, and good by Will Gertis. Gertis with 6 points. And the Maroons had the initial shot blocked. No call there. Great job by the Maroons defensively, but Gertis got his own rebound and put it through. Dowling with the ball as we're tied at 14. 6:10 to go, second quarter from the Casey Center here in downtown Des Moines. Now here is Coppola, try to get it over to Crane, and it's stolen away by Cedar Falls. All the way down, layup is good. Will Gertis went uncontested for the layup, and all of a sudden he's got the last 4 points for Cedar Falls, and they lead it by 2.
I think Maddox expected Charlie to roll a little bit harder to the basket. Crane got caught up.
8 points for Gertis.
Nice strong move, attacking the basket by Charlie Crane.
Crane with his 4th point. He scored the last 4 points for Dowling. We're tied at 16, 5:30 to go, second quarter. In the front court, Carson Gary. Over to Kimbrough. Now they work underneath. A shot up and no good, and Charlie Crane has just picked up his 3rd foul as they work it inside to Will Gertis.
Oh, one of the situations, talking to the Dowling coaches, that they did not want to see is to see a tight game called. But that time, give it to Will Gertis. He backed Charlie Crane down well underneath the basket, got him in a terrible position. So when they inlet pass to Gertis, he had the position. And Charlie did a little bit too much trying to get around it. 3rd foul on him.
Gertis' first free throw, no good. He has 8 points this morning. And our game is brought to you in part by Fast Signs and Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Construction Professionals. A reminder of the spring fundraiser going on here on Iowa Catholic Radio. 515-223-1150. Has the second free throw good by Gertis. He has 9 points. And Cedar Falls with a 1-point lead, 17-16. But more importantly, Dowling with their 2 big guys, 3 fouls each here in the first half.
And they went with both of them.
Now underneath, Crane shot no good. Offensive rebound, Coley. And he drew the foul. So the Maroons are going with their big guys, and Coley might have rolled his ankle.
So interesting enough at that break, with Charlie Crane with 3 fouls, Alfred Coley sitting with 3 fouls. The Maroons took out Maddox, Coppola, brought in Crane. Both bigs in with 3 fouls. 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And Coley's first free throw good. Alfred, a 51% free throw shooter. That's his first point of the morning. Dowling led by Noah Martins, who's been held under wraps. He's got 8 points, and he has not scored here in the second quarter. 4 points for Charlie Crane, 2 points for Nate Jenkins, and 2 points for Alfred Coley. Makes both free throws. Dowling 3 for 3 at the line. No one else has scored for the Maroons. And now Cedar Falls gets underneath, and an uncontested layup for Gertis as Dowling is kind of caught up in fouls, and they had to let him score.
Yeah, Cedar Falls recognizes that Dowling doesn't want to foul. They're going to feed their big guys. Dowling can't be as aggressive, and that time Gertis.
Oh, bad pass that time by Coley. Thread the needle to Jenkins, and right in front of the Cedar Falls bench, turnover against the Maroons. So with 4:42 remaining second quarter, Cedar Falls with the basketball and a 1-point lead over Dowling, 19-18 in a low-scoring first half. Now backdoor cut by Kimbrough, and goes up for the shot. It's no good. Ball loose on the floor, and Dowling picks it up. Kimbrough is down under the baseline, all the way down Jenkins, and he throws it away. It goes out of bounds, and they say it went off of Coley, and Kimbrough is hurt. He hit the floor hard, and they're going to get medical folks out to him. So it stops the clock with 4:24 to go in the first half. 19-18. Cedar Falls with a 1-point lead. And Kimbrough holding his left hip. It must be what he landed on,
Looks like
Jimmy.
He came down on his hip. Mascapola, well-contested shot. Got the block, and then nothing really to catch Kimbrough as he came down other than his hip.
Head coach Ryan Schultz asking one of the officials about that particular play and why there wasn't a whistle. And because, as you described, Maddox well defended that. And unfortunately, Kimbrough went down awkwardly, and he's being attended to by the training staff. Got a break in the action. Today's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, all season long, been brought to you by Construction Professionals, Iowa Wealth Management, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Ashworth Vision Clinic. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, I am Mark Amadale. Pretty good crowd here for this first game of the day. The winner of the Dowling and Cedar Falls game will take on the winner of Game 2, and that'll be a CIML matchup for the third time this year. Johnston taking on Waukee. Waukee has won both meetings during the regular season, but the Johnston Dragons, Tino Day, we saw him the second time when he just got back. Dowling had handed him one of their few losses. Johnston upset Waukee Northwest on Tuesday morning.
Tino Day changes the whole landscape for Johnston, and they've been, I believe, 14-3 since he's been back, and very elite team here in the state tournament.
All right, here's Will Gertis with it. Cedar Falls with the basketball. They lead by 1. Gertis underneath, little baby hook, no good. Rebound Dowling, and well, it's Crane and Coley coming away with it. And they'll give it to Coley on the rebound. Dowling in the front court. Here's Capola with it. Maddox coming off a ball screen, looking for Crane. Now gets it to him right wing. 3-point line extended. He'll launch a 3 off the mark, no good. And the rebound, Gertis and Cedar Falls.
Smart by Alfred Coley as Gertis had the position on the block out. Alfred didn't do anything to try to contest the rebound.
All right, here's Cedar Falls with it. Leighton Wolf for 3, and no good. Offensive rebound, Burns. Reverse layup, good. Burns was underneath the basket as it missed everything and put it through.
I think that's the Maroons' recipe. Let Cedar Falls shoot this three-point shot. They're not a prolific three-point shooting team.
Now Dowling with the ball. And now Martins loses his feet, and the ball's turned over. Burns with it. 2-on-1 fast break. The layup is no good. Rebound. Jenkins coming all the way down. And Dowling with the ball, and they dodge a bullet there. Almost an uncontested layup.
It's a great defensive play by Maddox Capola, staying straight up, jumping and keeping his space, contesting the layup, and then Nate Jenkins there for the defensive rebound.
All right, here's Crane with it. 3 minutes to play in the second quarter. 21-18. Cedar Falls by 3. This is their largest lead of the game. And now Dowling with a shot in the lane. It's no good by Coley, and the rebound out to Cedar Falls. In the front court, Burns. Burns looking for a pick, and now he gets it over to Gertis for 3. It's up and no good. Ball slapped around and into the hands of Cedar Falls. Gertis comes away with it between the circles.
Yeah.
So brand new shot clock for Cedar Falls. 2:30 remaining in the half. 30 on the shot clock. Here's Burns for 3, right wing, good. Left him open, and that's his 5th straight point. 5 points for Parker Burns. Timeout Dowling. 2:20 to go here in the second quarter. It's Cedar Falls 24, Dowling 18. We'll be back in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
Support for programming provided by Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients grow and protect their wealth, offering personalized investment strategies as well as financial and estate planning. Learn more at iowawealth.com, committed to creating peace and purpose in your finances.
The Catholic Tuition Organization, your sponsor today, supports worthy students wanting a Catholic education. Gifts to CTO are first monies applied to tuition expenses in the Diocese of Des Moines. That means other sources of support will go further. Donations to CTO earn a 75% Iowa tax credit. If you give $1,000, you receive a tax credit of $750. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their futures.
KIHS, Perry, KDVM, Mason City, KCSL, Spencer.
All right, we're back here at Casey Center in downtown Des Moines alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale. The final year of the boys basketball state tournament being held here at the Casey Center. They're moving to Ames next year at Hilton Coliseum on the campus of Iowa State University. So you're part of history, Mr. Cataldo, whether you like it or not. This will be the final year for the boys here. The girls will be back, and so will state wrestling. Just keep your calendar open.
I almost wonder who was your sidekick back in 1992 when they came down here. Or actually,
That's a good trivia question. Yeah, I was on the overhang over at Vets Auditorium, and now here's Martins for three. He's been quiet here in the second half for Dowling. It's no good. Rebound Cedar Falls. Outlet pass goes into the backcourt to Gertis. Spins against Coley. Layup good. Wow. Gertis starting to take over. He's got 13 points in the first half.
Taking advantage of the Maroons not getting back on defense and getting a mismatch with Gertis, Keelis guarding him on that.
Cedar Falls by 8. This is their largest lead of the morning. Dowling with the ball underneath. Keelis with it. Nearly lost it. Gets it out to Coppola. So it's Martins, Coppola, Keelis, the three guards, with Alfred Coley playing with three fouls. And now a whistle and a foul on the pass on Cedar Falls. Out of bounds to Dowling. 7 on the shot clock. They'll get reset.
Just foul number 2 for Cedar Falls here in the second quarter. Minute and a half left, so a few fouls to give.
Fouls on Tayshawn Ratliff, who just checked in. 6'2 senior wearing number 3 for Cedar Falls. Dowling inbounds the ball. Brand new shot clock. Minute and a half to go, second quarter. Cedar Falls with its largest lead, 26-18. Dowling with the ball. Here's Martin. Skip pass over to Coppola. Maddox for 3. Up. Good! Shot it right over Ratliff. And Maddox with his 5th point this morning.
Maroons were struggling to find somebody to put the ball in the basket. Maddox Coppola steps up in a huge way to knock down that 3 to cut this to 5.
26-21, Cedar Falls underneath. Layup is good. That's Leighton Wool. Put his head down, went off tackle and scored. He's got 7 points. As the Maroons are very vulnerable in the post with both their centers with 3 fouls here in the first half. Here's Keelis with it. Dowling going with a 4-guard offense with Coley in there now at 3 fouls. Here's Martins. Noah underneath. His shot up and rolls off the rim. No good. Rebound Gertis and Cedar Falls. Noah had a good look at it. Noah has all 8 of his points, Jimmy, in the first quarter. So Cedar Falls is locked down on him defensively. Kimbrough back in the lineup after having that hip injury after a missed basket. So he's back in for Cedar Falls. 15 seconds remaining in the half, 9 on the shot clock. Here's Burns with it down the lane. His shot is blocked and out of bounds off of Burns. Keelis with help defense. Got him to a jump ball situation, but it went off his knee. It'll be Dowling basketball, Jimmy, 8 seconds to go.
It's a huge turnover because the Maroons have cut this to 7, and Cedar Falls easily could have jumped that to 10 going into the half, but Maroons get the final possession of the half.
Sam Ralston checking in, one of 9 seniors on the Dowling squad. Gets to fellow senior Noah Martins. 5 on the shot clock in the game. Here's Coppola with it. He'll launch a 3. It's up off the mark, no good. And we go to halftime with Cedar Falls leading Dowling 28-21 here at the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines. The first of the Class 4A semifinals. Johnston and Waukee will play following this game. The 2 winners this morning will head to the Boys State 4A Championship tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock here at the Casey Center as we go to halftime with the score. Cedar Falls 28, Dowling 21, alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale. We're going to take a 2-minute break and come back. We'll have our first half statistics from the Casey Center here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
It's something we've all heard before. I believe in God, but not organized religion. But as Catholics, we believe that Jesus started a church. Yes, an organized religion, if you will. The church is a gift to the world, which God has ordained as the vehicle in which we are sanctified and grow on the way to our heavenly destination. Above all, the Catholic Church is a family. Man is not an island, as it was once famously said, and we need the community found in our brothers and sisters in the faith. A visible church is necessary for the dispensing of the 7 sacraments, which Jesus instituted for the forgiveness of sins and growth in His grace. And God has always desired that His people gather to give Him glory by corporate liturgical worship and sacrifice, which is fulfilled in the New Covenant by the Holy Mass. Yes, the organized institution of the church has often had its share of scandals and sins. The human face of the church can be messy and imperfect, but God does not desire for us to escape to a spiritual island or alternative religion, but to serve Him and His people in the church He founded and has promised to be with until He returns in glory. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
Do you believe in the importance of Catholic education? Do you owe Iowa income tax this year? Consider a gift to the Catholic Tuition Organization to help worthy students attend Catholic schools in the diocese and receive an Iowa tax credit of 75% of your donation. If you give $1,000 to CTO, you'll receive a tax credit of $750. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their futures.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. ashworthvision.com.
Fast Signs is a custom sign and visual solutions company with an extensive selection of digital signage, interior and exterior signs, banners, and vehicle wraps. Learn more at fastsigns.com. Thank you, Fast Signs in Clive, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Welcome back to the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale. We are at halftime of the first Class 4A semifinal, and it's Cedar Falls, the number one ranked team with a record of 23-0, leading fourth-ranked Dowling Catholic 28-21. Maroons come in with a record of 21-3, and the winner of this game will meet the winner of Johnston and Waukee. That game follows this one here at the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines, and boy, Jimmy Cataldo, you say one thing, and he's like a booking agent. You just find somebody in the crowd, and they'll let anybody in here, Coach. I mean,
well, I don't have a whole lot of people to. First, I got to see who's got access to the floor, because I'm not going to pull anybody from the crowd.
That gets the security guards involved. Yeah, that's
seeing the track is ramping up here, and Coach Herring is not doing much right now.
Coach Herring not doing much. He's got 150 kids out for track, and he's got time for us. Awesome. And let's welcome the recent Hall of Fame induction dude here at UNI University. That's where Cedar Falls is from. I don't know if this is a good idea, Jimmy, but Coach Herring, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Congratulations, Hall of Famer.
Thank you.
UNI, it's well overdue. Well overdue. I've been told by many people that, so awesome. But you're here doing crowd control. Student body is not bad for probably the first day of spring break unofficially, but
yep, they're sleeping in, but we got a few of them here, so they're doing what they can.
I heard you had some track going on, practice. I hear from some of the folks at Dowling, there's like 200 boys and girls over that going to practice every day. That's got to be interesting, and we have, large facility for that, right? That gets that all taken care of.
Yeah, not so much, but yeah, it's been good. Got 150 plus boys out.
Wow.
We were at UNI on Monday, and we got a group going to Iowa State today.
Yeah, well, that'll keep you busy during spring break, and what are your days? Let's talk about your season. You got a lot of kids out. You were already involved with. We had to go back up to your place up there at UNI, right, for indoor.
Yeah.
I mean, how'd that go? And obviously, you're just trying to figure out who's who on your team and who's going to best relay, best throwers, all that. So talk about that with the upcoming Dowling track season.
Yeah, so Monday was good. Took a lot of younger guys. Had a few seniors, but a lot of sophomores. But this time of year, just trying to figure out race plans and things like that. And they always kind of get a little thrown off by the 200-meter track up there. But it has some good PRs. Jackson Miller, senior, he finished fourth in the 60-meter dash, and he's excited to kind of improve on that today at Iowa State.
You look over the past years, and track continues to get, better and better. You guys, come back with a state title, just a couple years ago, and, you get into a little bit of rebuild, but it brings more and more kids out, and to have those type of numbers is a great thing. As you look into this 2026 campaign, what's going to be the strength of your track program?
Oh, I think the strength will be the sprints and the sprint relays. You got Jackson Miller, who was a Drake Relays finalist in the 100. You got Jeffrey Roberts, who was a 100-meter finalist, 200-meter finalist last year. Nolan Strang was on our 4x2, and Sam Dresser ran on the distance medley last year, the one state. So really heavy in the sprints, and Coach Ives always gets those distance guys ready. Brady Hagan will be good in the shot put as well. He was a qualifier last year.
And so you look at somebody like Jackson Miller, and you try to find the leadership guys. And Jackson's been around for 4 years, 3 years. He's been participating in some of the upper echelon in those sprints. Where's the leadership coming from that's going to really push some of these guys to set personal records and continue to build on what they're doing?
Yeah, Jackson's a great start from day one. He's been training with that varsity group and kind of earned his way up, and so he's kind of seen all the different stages of our team. And then a guy like Nolan Strang, who doesn't get a lot of praise, but he's got the most school records on our team. He's on, I think, 4 school record relays so far and hoping to get another one this year. So those guys are doing great. They're working hard, and like I said, with those sophomores, just telling them to follow these guys and learn as much as they can.
So where does your indoor track season, so to speak, when does that – obviously it started. When does that end, and when do you start getting outside relays?
Yeah, it's really, really short. So we have had you and I on Monday, Iowa State Thursday. We'll take some of our younger guys to Central over spring break, and then when we get back from spring break, we've got outdoor at Johnson on the 24th of March. So.
And some of those big relays coming up down at Drake, not the Drake relays, but you have you have some of those big qualifying ones. The track season seems to go by really, really fast, and you want to get guys to get into that blue oval qualifying, state qualifying times. How do you build up for that so what these kids are at their best probably in a month so that they can get into those positions to qualify?
Yeah, a lot of it is just staying patient. I think if you try to hit every single goal early in the season, you're going to set yourself up for failure at the end of the season. And so we love the Drake relays, but we just kind of use it as a benchmark to see where we're at for districts and state. And so we're going to train through those. We still want to perform well, but ultimately you're remembered by what you do at the state meet.
Visit with Jared Herring. He's the assistant athletic director at Dowling Catholic High School, also the head boys track coach here at halftime as Dowling and Cedar Falls in the 4A semifinal. And Cedar Falls leads Dowling 28-21. Coach Herring, you had an opportunity to coach my partner here's son, Dante Cataldo, and you could tell that Dante got all his athleticism, personal best because of his mom. You do know that, don't you? Because it came from Jenny's side of the family.
That's believable. That's very believable.
See, I just wanted to concur that. That was my suspicions all along. Coach, you can comment any time, Mr. Cataldo.
I told Don, I said it's really hard for me to come to track because watching kids just run around in circles is tough. But they told me to come out to, I think it was a meet at Drake, and to watch the intensity of those. If you have not seen a live track meet, and somebody like me is kind of like, just run around in a circle, to get out there and see it live is pretty intense. And so I would say that, and I think that starts with you guys as the coaching staff, to bring that intensity and display that in track. It's actually a really fun sport to watch.
Yeah, the tough part is that, there aren't any timeouts, and so we always talk to them about, you might have to make an adjustment on the fly, but there isn't a redo. You look at the Olympics, and those people train forever for 10 seconds. And so it's been fun.
Well, it looks like you're going to be who are some of the teams that you see in boys track around Central Iowa? It seems we know in all the other sports, everybody's competitive. Look at this tournament here, the boys basketball tournament. 5 schools from CIML made it to Class 4A. Last week, girls, it was 6. What do you see in track this year?
I think unfortunately, the team across the court is going to be pretty good. Cedar Falls has a really good team. They were state runner-ups last year. Ankeny won it all last year. They returned some of that. I think we'll be pretty good, and I think at least one of those schools down in Iowa City will be good as well.
If Coach Cataldo will look up, Earl will take your picture. He's trying to do that. Earl Holst, that guy's a legend. I mean,
no doubt.
What he does. All right, Jared. Well, spring break, but track practice will go on, right? I'm guessing for those.
Train those who are available.
Yeah, that's right. The place is going to be shut down. Well, Jared, we appreciate all you do, number one, in the off season, football, basketball season. Appreciate all your help back at Dowling. We were home there for a while, but we were gone for a while, too. We were gone 6 weeks. Thought you would forget about us.
No, still remember you guys, and we appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Well, you're most welcome, and thank you for taking time out. Not a bad crowd here, considering spring break is unofficially started at Dowling. There's no school today, but the students are here, and so are the parents and alumni back behind us.
Yep, hoping we can get one more.
There you go. Coach Herring, thank you. Have a great track season. We'll talk to you down the road.
Thank you.
All right, Jared Herring visit with us here on halftime. It's Cedar Falls leading Dowling 28-21. We'll be back after this 1-minute break. We'll come back with our first half statistics and talk more. Dowling and Cedar Falls. The first semifinal, the winner plays the winner of Waukee and Johnson, which will follow this game here at the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines alongside Jimmy Cataldo. I am Mark Amadale here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for programming provided by Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients grow and protect their wealth, offering personalized investment strategies as well as financial and estate planning. Learn more at iowawealth.com, committed to creating peace and purpose in your finances.
Programming supported in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951 with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, online at skeffingtons.com. Thank you, Skeffington's Formal Wear, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
The Catholic Tuition Organization, your sponsor today, supports worthy students wanting a Catholic education. Gifts to CTO are first monies applied to tuition expenses in the Diocese of Des Moines. That means other sources of support will go further. Donations to CTO earn a 75% Iowa tax credit. If you give $1,000, you receive a tax credit of $750. Pledge or donate online at ctoiowa.org. The bottom line, it's for the kids and their futures.
All right, we're back here at Wells Fargo Arena, downtown Des Moines. Teams back on the floor as we get ready to start the second half. It's Cedar Falls leading Dowling by the score of 28-21. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, I am Mark Amadale. Jimmy, Dowling led at the end of the first quarter, 12-10, but it was all Cedar Falls in the second quarter. Now they have a 7-point lead.
Well, we talked about, Cedar Falls goes on an 18-9 run in the second quarter to take that 7-point lead, and talking about it, that a lot of it was attributed to the foul trouble that Dowling got into late in the first quarter. Alfred Coley and Charlie Crane, both sitting with 3 fouls, really took away their aggressiveness and their ability to attack the boards and find offensive and defensive rebounds, and really allowed Cedar Falls to make a run. Will Gertis, 13 points in the first half. A lot of that is getting positions down low and knowing that the Maroons were not going to be as aggressive and putting in some shots. But big shots out of Maddox Capola in the second quarter, knocked the lead down to 5. But Cedar Falls came back with a bucket to take the 7-point lead into half.
Let's visit with your Iowa buddy over here.
Yeah, what's so funny is we sat you next to Jess Settles, and I think you're starstruck right now. You are so far out of this game. You're starstruck. I think you got 3 autographs, one for your daughter, one from your. I think you got one for yourself.
515-223-1150. I'd like to make a pledge now that you've mentioned that to the Iowa Catholic Radio's
He's got
spring fundraiser.
He's got a signed basketball by Jess Settles that we can auction off at the.
I took a picture, which I sent to you, of you and Jeff. Oh, we got to get a picture of me and Jeff. So I
just wanted to send it to a buddy.
And I did, and then he asked me a question. I said, hey, I'll help you out. And I took my headset off, and you stopped talking.
Well,
I didn't
realize you weren't part of it.
He's a good
too
guy.
Fun.
Do you go through the scoring, or am I doing that? I can do that. All right, our scoring in the first half for Dowling. The Maroons led by Noah Martin's 8 points, but all in the first quarter, Jimmy. No scoring out of Noah in the second quarter, thanks to the Cedar Falls defense as we're underway. Charlie Crane with 4 points. Maddox Capola with 5 points. Alfred Coley 2 points. Nate Jenkins with 2 points for the Maroons. Dowling 3 for 3 at the free throw line as Maroons get the basketball to start the second half and turn it over.
Alfred had the position on Gertis in the inbound or the inlet pass right off the tip of his finger, something that Alfred certainly could have handled. But first turnover of the half goes to the Maroons.
And then keep in mind Charlie Crane and Alfred Coley with 3 fouls each, and now Charlie Crane falls down and they get it inside, and a shot up and good by Cedar Falls, and that was Gertis, who basically got an uncontested layup. He has 15 points. Wow.
Maroons got to settle in here in the second half, and they just got to take it right at him. I think the Maroons are playing a little bit passive.
Now here's Martin's underneath, and Noah travels with the basketball, couldn't get his balance, and he'll turn it over. For Cedar Falls, Will Gertis, who had 13 points at halftime, now has 15 points. He's following his scoring by Leighton Wolf with 7 points, 5 points for Parker Burns. Carson Gary did not score. Jaden Crimborough held to 3 points, so the Maroons have done their due diligence on holding their second leading scorer in check. Now Cedar Falls with the basketball on Dowling's second consecutive turnover. Now backing in against Coley is Gertis. Gets the ball on the baseline. Here's Burns with his shot blocked by Charlie Crane. Rebound Martin. So the Maroons get a stop and have the basketball trailing by 9. This is the largest deficit that Dowling's faced this morning. Now the Maroons underneath, and Coley lose the ball out of bounds. And they'll award it to Cedar Falls.
That time he got the ball over the defense. Alfred did, and Will Gertis was there for the block, and then the tip out by Coley. Another turnover for the Maroons.
Cedar Falls with the basketball and a 9-point lead, 30-21. 6.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Here's Gertis, spins against Coley. His shot up, good. He got Coley off his feet, and Crane came in to block it. He shot it right over Charlie, and Gertis is now taking over the game. He has 17 points.
Alfred's playing behind Gertis, and I think he needs to front him more. Don't allow him to get the ball down on the block, which every time it's happening, and maybe need to switch up the defense there and have him face guard or try to find maybe Crane on him at that time.
Well, Charlie Crane takes the basketball to the hoop. Shot with the left hand, no good, but he drew the foul, and that'll be on Gertis, and that'll be his first foul. So unlike Dowling, Cedar Falls has plenty of fouls to give. There's nobody with more than one foul, and free throws coming for Charlie Crane, who had 4 points in the first half on a pair of field goals. First free throw good. Maroons are 4 for 4 at the line this morning. Today's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Fast Signs in Clive, Skeffington's Formal Wear, Construction Professionals, and the Catholic Tuition Organization. Second free throw in and out, no good. First miss for the Maroons this morning, and the rebound out to Cedar Falls. 32-22, the lead is now 10 for Cedar Falls. Now, there's a shot in the lane. It's no good by the Tigers. Rebound by Dowling. Here's Jenkins down the lane, and his shot up, no good. Has a shot blocked, and cameraman hits the deck. They're trying to help him over there. Cedar Falls players are. And a foul on Cedar Falls, and we're all done with this, Jimmy. I want to see the film on that one.
Yeah, well, you may get to see that one. But,
I hope he's all right. He's getting up. Yeah, the cameraman's doing fine. Foul on Cedar Falls, and they're going to charge it too.
I think that went to 23. Went to Carson Gary on the foul there.
Yep, that is his second.
So, Maroons are now making it to the line, and, of course, foshed them. They were 3 for 3 at the line, and then you give the obligatory, the Maroons have not missed one. And
we made our first four, and then missed our next two, missed our next three.
So you completely ruined that stat, Mark, and I didn't want to say it myself. I let you say it, and
yeah, thanks.
But these are this is where the free throws are going to come up big for the Maroons as they need to fight back into this game.
All right, pull-up jumper by Kimbrough, no good. Good defense that time by Maddox Capola, right in his hand up in his face. Rebound out to Dowling. Here's Martins with it. Noah coming off the ball, screen by Crane. Noah down the lane, puts up a shot. It's blocked by Gertis. Rebound out to Cedar Falls and Parker Burns. And now a whistle and traveling on Burns. He got double-teamed in the backcourt by Noah Martins and Jenkins, and he traveled with the basketball, and Ryan Parker didn't like that. The head coach of Cedar Falls said, hey, I thought there was a foul there before the travel. So it'll be Dowling basketball underneath their own basket. 5:15 left to go, third quarter. Cedar Falls by 10. Coley with the basketball on the inbounds play. Martins for three, good. Corner three, left wing, good for Noah Martins.
Huge three by the Maroons on an inbounds pass, cutting it down to 7 points.
Martins with 11. 32-25. The Cedar Falls lead is 7. And now underneath Gertis, his shot blocked out of bounds. It'll be Cedar Falls basketball. And that was Leighton Wolf, not the other dynamic duo for them. It was Wolf that his shot blocked out of bounds.
Crane and Coley are playing so aggressive right now with 3 fouls, and that's just a matter of time before one of them picks up their fourth. And I'm not sure what happens to the Dowling bench once that happens.
Now here's Burns driving baseline. His shot up and good. Drove left, used a nice screen over there off Gertis and scored. And Parker Burns with his 7th point. 34-25. Cedar Falls by 9. 4.5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Martins Dribble drives down the lane, kicks it off to Coppola. Maddox underneath, leaves it for Crane. His shot up, no good. Charlie gets his own rebound, and we've got a jump ball. Jump ball, and bodies hit the floor. It'll be Cedar Falls basketball after the possession. Substitutions in for Dowling. Gio Keelis will check in for Maddox Coppola. And Parker Burns will check out and checking in for Cedar Falls will be number 14, Mason Woltz, who played back in the first half. Both teams go to their bench. Woltz with it. Now they swing it over to the right side. Top of the key it goes to Landon Wolf. They lob it inside to Gertis, guarded by Coley on the right baseline. Now double team. Gets it back out. A long three coming up by Wolf. It's no good. Rebound Coley, and the Maroons dodge a bullet there.
Well, it's a great double team by Charlie Crane coming over to give Alfred some help because he was getting bodied down.
Now here's Martins for three. It's up no good. And the rebound comes out to Kimbrough and Cedar Falls. Outlet pass to Gary. Carson in the lane. Pull-up jumper good. Just like that, Gary with his first basket of the morning.
Attacking an open lane and hitting a jump shot from about 6 feet.
Back to an 11-point lead for Cedar Falls, matching their largest lead of the day, 36-25 over Dowling. Here's Coley for three, and it's good. Left wing three right in front of the Dowling bench for Alfred Coley. That's his 5th point and first field goal of the day.
Cedar Falls was begging him to shoot it, and I'm not sure if that's a great shot, but Coley knocks it down. And
just his 7th three of the year. Now underneath Gertis, his shot up and good. The basket will count and a foul on Charlie Crane, and that'll be his 4th. Great move in the paint by Gertis, the UNI recruit. And Crane has picked up foul number 4. Now decision time. Wonder if they could both get through the third quarter with just 3 fouls.
And it's just a matter of time. And the Maroons are playing behind the bigs of Cedar Falls, which allows Cedar Falls to feed the post. And they're in just such a bad position at that point. Nothing to do but foul, and I just thought, start face guarding them, forcing them to throw over you, and the Maroons have not done that defensively.
Gertis with 20 points, 39-28. Cedar Falls back to an 11-point lead. Ralston in for Dowling. Maroons going with a 4-guard lineup. Sam Ralston off the bench, 6-foot junior. Now to Martins. Martins probing, free throw line. Now double team. Kicks over in the corner. Keyless for three. It's no good. And the rebound out to Cedar Falls and Gertis. Will Gertis, 6'9" senior, player of the year in their conference. Now underneath Kimbrough with a slicing move for the basket. That's his 4th point of the morning. Check that, his 5th point. He had a 3-pointer back in the first quarter. Martin's the other way for Dowling. His shot is blocked out of bounds. Foul on Cedar Falls. Let's see who they're going to whistle it on. 2:06 to go. And
foul number.
Carson Gary with his 3rd foul. And free throws coming for Noah Martins. Noah with 11 points. And his first free throw good. So it stops the streak that the Maroons had of missing 3 in a row. After made their first 4, missed their next 3, and now they're starting a new streak. 2:06 to go, 3rd quarter. 41-29, Cedar Falls.
The lineup the Maroons are going with right now is going to be struggling to find an open shot, especially when Alfred Coley has 3 fouls. He's not playing as aggressive. Don't have a lot of people looking to look to set up a 3-point shot. So it'll be interesting what offensive sets the Maroons are going to go to when they get the ball.
Martins makes both free throws. Noah with 13 points, 41-30. Cedar Falls by 1. Their largest lead has been 13 points this morning for the number 1 ranked team in Class 4A. Tigers with it. Top of the key, it's Mason Woltz. To Kimbrough, right wing, guarded by Ralston. Long 3 up, good. Wow. All of a sudden, they woke everybody up, and Kimbrough now with 8 points.
Big shot by Kimbrough, and Maroons are trying to work different looks on defensive sides. That time, Ralston was playing on Kimbrough and gave him a little bit too much room and hit the three. Big shot.
Here's Keyless with it, and he has yet to score off the bench for Dowling. He's kind of Maroon's instant offense. Ralston with it, and he goes down the lane. Layup good. Sam Ralston, a nice strong move, went through traffic. Sam with his first 2 points of the day. And it's 44-32. Cedar Falls over Dowling. This is Wolf with it. Kicks it over in the corner for three. It's no good by Mason Woltz, and a rebound out to Dowling. Maroons have trailed by as many as 14 points this morning, and they're trying to dig into it. Long three, no good by Martins. Rebound Kimbrough. Maroons coming up empty, trying to fire it back in, trying to get their way back into it by shooting threes. (44-32). Cedar Falls by 12 and the basketball. 20 seconds on the game clock, 10 on the shot clock. Now here's a long three by Burns in the corner. It's no good. Ball tipped around into the hands of Woltz. Layup good. Offensive rebound and putback there for Woltz.
That's the rebound the Maroons desperately needed and didn't get it.
That's his first 2 points. Keyless the other way. His shot up and good. Is it? They're going to count it, and it is at two. It's a two-pointer for Keyless. Official right in front of us. So we come to the end of 3 quarters of play with the score here in this 4A semifinal. Cedar Falls 46, Dowling Catholic 34. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, I am Mark Amadale. We'll return to the Casey Center here in downtown Des Moines following this break along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Support for programming is provided by construction professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com. Programming supported in part by Skeffington's Formalware, in business since 1951 with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalware, online at skeffingtons.com. Thank you, Skeffington's Formalware, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. ashworthvision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com. 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more.
Welcome back to the Casey Center, downtown Des Moines. The boys Class 4A state basketball tournament semifinals. Cedar Falls leads Dowling 46-34 as we get ready for the fourth quarter to start. Cedar Falls now, Jimmy, after being outscored 12-10 by Dowling in the first quarter, they've outscored Dowling in the second quarter 18-9 and outscored the Maroons 18-13 in that third quarter. And the Maroons have not helped themselves. 3 fouls each on their post players at halftime, Charlie Crane and Alfred Coley. And it was Crane picking up his 4th foul. So the Maroons are very limited at what they can do in the paint. And Cedar Falls knows that. And you got to look at some of the numbers from the first 3 quarters.
So first 3 quarters, the Maroons are getting out-rebounded 24-18. That's a big stat for Dowling. They're not normally getting out-rebounded in any game. And they have 10 turnovers, Maroons do, to Cedar Falls 5. Maroons have gotten 6 of 9 from the free throw line, 4 of 12 from 3, with a total of 12 of 31 from the field, which is just 38%. Cedar Falls, 5 of 9 from the free throw line, has hit 3 3-point shots and are 19 of 38, 50% from the field. They're just making their way with the Maroons inside the paint. Maroons are turning the ball over, and they're not getting rebounds. And then they're finding themselves with a 12-point deficit.
Well, Dowling gets the ball inside to Nate Jenkins, and he travels with the basketball. So on Dowling's first possession, they turn it over. Maroons were 6 of 9 at the free throw line. Cedar Falls, 5 of 9 at the free throw line through 3 quarters. Tigers in the front court. Here's Wolf dribbling in the front court against Martins. Gets it to Gary, now top of the key to Wolf. They work the right side over to Gary in the corner, right wing. Now to Burns. Burns dribbles to the free throw line, pull-up jumper, no good. Gets his own rebound as the Maroons didn't close him out. Now a long 3, good by Carson Gary. Second chance opportunity.
It's just the turnover that the Maroons had. They give up an offensive rebound, and then they get a kick-out three. Three just bad plays by the Maroons led to 3 points, 16-point lead by, or 15-point lead by Cedar Falls.
Largest lead for Cedar Falls is right now underway here in the fourth quarter. 49-34 Cedar Falls. Martin's with it, gets the Crane. Charlie in the lane, layup good. He attacked the glass and went right over Wolf for the basket. So Charlie Crane with 5 points, make that 7 points this morning. 49-36 Cedar Falls. I mentioned these two teams have played here twice in the last 5 years. Cedar Falls has won both games, 64-62 and 64-56. Now here is Gertis on the baseline. He's cut off, kicks it out top to Kimbrough. Now a long two is up and no good. Gertis, weak side rebound, went right around Coley and drew the foul. Let's see who they called on here for Dowling.
Capola.
Maddox Capola with his second foul. So free throws coming for Gertis. Will Gertis, leading scorer and rebounder and leads the team in block shots for Cedar Falls, headed to Northern Iowa next year. First free throw good. Gertis with 21 points this morning.
Dowling going with a little bit different offense here, or line up with Ralston coming in for Noah Martins, and let's see here, Gio Keelis coming in for Nate Jenkins.
And the second free throw good by Gertis. Gertis with 22 points. And now Maddox Capola right in front of us for three, and it's good. Maddox with his second three of the morning, and he's got 8 points. Dowling fans starting to get into it. 51-39 Cedar Falls. And Maroons with a 1-2-2 full court press. Timeout Cedar Falls. That's what we haven't seen today.
Yep, all set up by the kick-out pass by Alfred Coley. Alfred Coley gets the ball into the middle. Probably has a move or two to make right there, but finds a wide open Maddox Capola at the wing, and Maddox knocks it down. His second three-pointer of the night.
And he has 8 points for the Maroons. And today's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Bozen the Florist, Ashworth Vision Clinic, and Fast Signs in Clive. And a reminder, our 2026 spring fundraiser going on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network all this week. You can donate your tax-deductible donation at iowacatholicradio.com. Just click on the donate button, or you can call in your pledge and call it in on behalf of Jimmy Cataldo. 515-223-1150. Operators will be taking your calls. And say on behalf of Jimmy Cataldo and the Iowa Catholic Radio sports broadcasting team that follows Dowling basketball and football. You won't talk to us much during football anymore like you used to, but you still talk to us during basketball.
You don't even talk to me anymore. I mean, it's like I went so far down on the bench that you don't even ask anymore.
I don't have media access to you anymore. I was told that by a certain athletic official at Dowling, so that's part of the problem, but it is what it is. All right, we've got a whistle and a timeout. As Wolf calls the timeout, and 15 on the shot clock. This will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here.
That's the quarterback.
It is. Nice job out of him. He's trying to bail out his teammate who almost had a 5-second call. But yeah, I can't, I don't have access during the football season. You're not up in the press box with us. You're a sideline guy, and, I don't have any access to you.
I'm always available to you, Mark. You know that. You're big time. Now you go to Crandall, Seaford. Anybody you can grab up there.
Tommy Gall.
Yep,
I get that.
If
I need basketball, I got Jess Settles right next to me.
I've noticed that you've moved a little bit closer after every dead ball to Jess Settles, where I think you're going to put your arm around him at some point. But, hey, that's fine. That's fine. You never get put in these positions. You're taking pictures when –
I took a picture for you.
I was going to take a picture, but my goodness, you came over and I think –
I said, I'll just save you the trouble. I know you're busy, or you got your thoughts in this game, and you should.
So Jess Settles went to – when we were at Iowa, John Fritzl, who was a former Dowling basketball player.
I called his game. I remember
he was on the
name.
gray team for Iowa with Jess Settles.
Yes, he was.
James Winters, Kenyon Murray, all those guys.
Now here's Kimbrough for three. No good. Rebound Dowling. Hold that thought. Here's Keelis in the front court. Gio dribbles baseline. Guarded by Carson Gary. Gio with it, gets it out to Martins. Noah Martins, Keyless, and Ralston, the 3 guards with Charlie Crane in there. Now underneath Martins, a shot up and good with the left hand. How about that with Noah?
I have no idea how Martins got that ball up, and even to get it to go in. Thought he was a little out of control, but found a reverse layup using the spin of the basket, or the basketball.
And he leads Dowling with 15 points, Noah Martins, a senior. Dowling has 9 seniors in this roster. 5 minutes to play, and it's Cedar Falls leading by 10, 51-41. Dowling needs stops, and they need baskets. And now whistling a foul on Martins. So Noah picks up the foul, but to continue to be his first foul. But so yeah, you and Fritzl, you were talking about, was on the gray squad at Dowling with Settles back in the day.
So and we all hung out together. It was some of the funnest time we had at Iowa, and get to hang out with these guys that you see at the national stage, and they're just normal guys. But fun times.
All right, here is Cedar Falls. They inbound the ball. They get it inside to Gertis. Layup good. Gertis with 24 points here, Jimmy.
Cedar Falls just able to feed the post with Gertis as Alfred's playing behind him every single possession.
And here is Capola for 3, no good. Ball tipped out of bounds off Keyless as he and Kimbrough were battling it out in the D. Cedar Falls basketball. 53-41. Cedar Falls leads Dowling. 4.5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Glad you could join us. We interrupt regular scheduled programming on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network to bring you boys state basketball, Class 4A, the large school semifinals, game 1. Now Cedar Falls breaks the press. They lob it up, and a slam dunk by Gertis for his 26th point. And that's the way to break a press. Diagonal pass to diagonal pass. And here's Ralston now for 3. It's no good. And the rebound out to Kimbrough, and that may do it. 4 minutes to play, and Dowling down 14. And Jenkins getting set to check in for the Maroons. Here's Wolf with it. Down the lane is Burns. Layup is no good. Keyless with the rebound. Gio with it, looking down court. Now comes off a ball screen by Coley. Top of the key for 3. It's no good. Ralston with the rebound. And Lisa for Coley. Bodies hit the floor. And now here's Cedar Falls with the basketball. Underneath, layup is no good by Burns. Ball slipped out of bounds, and they say it went off of Dowling, but I think they're going to reverse it here, Jimmy. Officials are going to huddle up. Matt Scholl, Mark Worth, and Pat Ensminger will give it to Dowling. And we've got a timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 3.5 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter, and it is Cedar Falls 55, Dowling 41. We'll be back after this 1-minute break along the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
In our culture, religion is often considered a mere matter of personal taste. Just as some prefer vanilla and others chocolate, you have your religion and I have mine. But Jesus Christ did not claim to be just another prophet or spiritual teacher. He claimed to be truth itself, as when he said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through me." Upon hearing Jesus' truth claims, Pilate scoffed, "What is truth?" sounding very much like a skeptic from our own day. But every person, ancient or modern, must confront Jesus' claims to be the Messiah, the Son of God, whose blood atones for our sins, who dies and rises again, and will return as King and Judge of the world. Such claims have only 2 possible responses, true or false. For if you claim to be God and the Savior of the world, you either are or you aren't. As C.S. Lewis wrote, Jesus could have either been a lunatic, a liar, or the Lord. But the one thing he could not have been was a mere good moral teacher, as so many say. But if Jesus is truly the Lord, then he is the Lord of all, and that's not a matter of personal taste. This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
And we're back here at the Casey Center, downtown Des Moines. Boys State basketball as we pre-up regular scheduled programming on Iowa Catholic Radio. Don't forget the Iowa Catholic Radio Spring Fundraiser is going on this week. IowaCatholicRadio.com for your donation. Hit the donate button and you can donate tax-deductible gift. Or you can call 515-223-1150. Operators are standing by now. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Hamadale. Dowling trailing by 14. 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining, fourth quarter. Out of the timeout, here is Noah Martins with the basketball. Leaves it for Jenkins. Nate looking. Runs with both their post players back in. A long 3 up and no good by Martins. Offensive rebound, Crane. And we've got a jump ball as Crane was tied up with Leighton Wolf. And possession arrow favors Cedar Falls.
So that looked to be the right call. Wolf got his hands in on as Charlie brought the ball down on the offensive rebound, looking to make a move.
1-2-2 full court press. Crane with 4 fouls. Coley with 3 fouls for the Maroons. They're both in there as Dowling has 4 of their 5 starters in. And now here's Parker Burns with the basketball. They work underneath, and a shot up and good by Gertis. Got it to roll around the rim and fall through. He has 28 points this morning to lead all scorers.
Matching his total scores in the first matchup that they had. He had 28 points, 15 rebounds.
Whistling a foul on Leighton Wolf for Cedar Falls. That'll be his first foul. And 57-41 Cedar Falls with 2.5 minutes to go remaining in the fourth quarter. Keyless for 3 in the corner. It's no good. Gio's found the shooting tough for him, and the rebound out to Cedar Falls.
5 of 17 3-point shooting tonight.
In the front court is Carson Gary. Now they get it to Wolf. Charlie's got to be careful. He's guarding Wolf. He's got 4 fouls at this stage. Now Keyless guarding Gary, and he turns it over. Stolen by Martins. Martins tried to get it down to Crane. Stolen back by Wolf. Leighton Wolf dribbles inside, and alley-oop pass to Kimbrough is good. Kimbrough lays it in. He's got 10 points. Now Martin's underneath for Dowling. His shot no good. Gets his own rebound. Gets to Jenkins in the corner. Out to Coley for 3. Top of the key. No good. Rebound Cedar Falls with 1:35 to play. 59-41. The Tigers by 18, and they are 1.5 minutes away from heading to the state championship game. They won titles back in 2018 and 2019. And they're about ready to head back for the championship game once again.
Dowling's looking to empty their bench. Concede this game a little bit.
Here's Kimbrough for 3, no good. Rebound Dowling. 1 minute to play. 59-41, Cedar Falls. We'll have our post-game show following this game. It may be a quick one as we get back to regular schedule program. Keyless for 3 right in front of us, good, and a timeout on the floor. I think this is just a substitution timeout. Gio Keyless, his 38th made 3 of the year, coming off the bench, has 5 points, and Dowling's going to sub out the 5 on the floor. So Alfred Coley, the lone junior out there, Jimmy, finishes with 5 points this morning. Nate Jenkins will finish with 2 points, a senior. Charlie Crane will finish with 7 points. And Noah Martins will finish with 15 points for the Maroons. Mattis Capola finishing with 8 points. Now reserves will close this out underneath for Cedar Falls. Tayshawn Ratliff, his shot is no good. Rebound Dowling. Here's Jacob Wynn with it. Wynn gets it to Drew DeRocher. Dowling gets the ball underneath, and a layup, good! That's a 2 guy with the basket. A 2 with his first points as a varsity player.
Freshman, 6'7" freshman, a 2 guy.
59-46, 15 seconds remaining. Ratliff with it, Tayshawn guarded by Jacob Wynn. Mentioned Drew DeRocher in there. Jimmy Baumhover finishing his high school career on the floor, a senior for the Maroons. And that'll do it. Final score, 59-46. Cedar Falls ends Dowling's season here at the Wells Fargo Arena, and they move on to the 4A state championship game, which is tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock here at the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines. And Jimmy, the toughest thing besides this being the last game is the 9 seniors that are going to move on, and we've got to know them for the last several years. Some have been on the varsity for 3 years under Coach Einerson's. This is since he took over, they've been on the varsity, and that's the toughest part. But the Maroons get all the way to the semifinals for the first time since 1992. So a big accomplishment for the boys basketball program.
Just an incredible accomplishment, and it is led by this senior group, top to bottom. Coach Iverson has been talking about this senior class and how they have really came together and did the extra things that they had to do to really mold this team into something bigger than themselves and making it to a situation that the Maroons basketball team has not been to in 36 years. So it's not the way they want to go out, but the accomplishments that they made for this Dowling basketball program is going to be seen for many, many years to come.
Absolutely. Dowling concludes this season with a record of 21 wins and 4 losses. For Cedar Falls, number 24 in a row after getting knocked off last year in the semifinals by Waukee Northwest. And, of course, Waukee Northwest lost to Valley in the championship game last year. Valley, that was their 3rd straight championship, and this year they didn't get out of the sub-state semifinals. So what a difference a year makes. But congratulations to Cedar Falls in the win. They'll take on the winner of Waukee and Johnston. Those teams will be out here shortly warming up for Game 2 here at the Casey Center, and that'll be a great one. That'll be the 3rd time those two teams meet, Waukee and Johnston.
And, CIML, these teams are really solid, and you look at what's going to come against Waukee and Waukee and Johnston. Johnston's a team I don't want to face right now. I thought they really came together with Tino Day coming back, so they're going to be a tough defending team. And Waukee, we saw some great things out of them over the year, and that's going to be a great matchup. And it's hard to predict who's going to come out of that, but whichever team comes out of that, they're going to have to play their best to beat this Cedar Falls team. Just really impressed what they're able to do inside and out. Will Gertis, he's the real deal. He finished 28 points, matching his first-round match with Urbandale. So whoever gets Cedar Falls is going to have to play their best.
You are correct, Mr. Cataldo. We're going to take a 2-minute break, come back with our post-game show from the Casey Center here in downtown Des Moines. This will be our final broadcast of the high school basketball season. Dowling girls losing the semifinals last week in Class 5A, and the Dowling boys losing this morning. Final score, Cedar Falls 59, Dowling Catholic 46. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, I am Mark Amadale. We'll return to the postgame show. Brady Grimm is our studio producer. We'll be back in 2 minutes for the postgame show on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Many scoff at the church's precepts and rules and can't fathom how a relationship with the church could affect a relationship with Christ. Let us remember that the high priests of Israel, due to their office, could inquire of the Lord, and recall Caiaphas' prophecy about Jesus' mission, which John 11 states was not said of his own accord, but in virtue of his being high priest that year. Our Lord upheld the legitimacy of the teaching office when he said in Matthew 23, "The scribes and the Pharisees sit on Moses' seat, so practice and observe whatever they tell you," though he quickly warned not to follow their bad example. Jesus commissioned his apostles to be the leaders of his church. He told them, "As the Father sent me, so I send you. And he who hears you hears me, and he who rejects you rejects me." The popes and bishops of the Catholic Church succeed the apostles in their teaching office, and it is they who over the centuries have passed on the faith to us through the creeds, church councils, even Scripture itself. We are called to accept the Church's teachings with joy, knowing that the Church is a good mother who desires our eternal happiness. And after all, who could reject his own mother? This is Greg Ewell for Faith Check.
Support for programming provided by Iowa Wealth Management, a fee-only investment advisory firm helping clients grow and protect their wealth, offering personalized investment strategies as well as financial and estate planning. Learn more at iowawealth.com, committed to creating peace and purpose in your finances.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Bozen the Florist. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, weddings, whatever the message, say more with Bozen. Bozen.com, 515-244-ROSE. Bozen makes the moment mean more. Support for programming is provided by Construction Professionals, serving customers through a proven process, creating unique design, functionality, and artistic beauty. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. cpcustomhomes.com.
The radio home for your Dowling Catholic Maroons. 105.5 KIHS, Perry, Des Moines. IowaCatholicRadio.com and the Iowa Catholic Radio mobile app. Encounter Jesus.
All right, we're back here at the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines as we preempted programming this morning to bring you coverage of the Boys State Basketball Tournament here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Final score in Game 1, Cedar Falls ends Dowling season by the score of 59-46. The Maroons finished with a record of 21-4. Cedar Falls moves on to the 4A championship game with a record of 24-0, and they'll meet the winner of the two teams warming up in front of us right now, Johnston taking on Waukee. And one of those two teams will meet the number one team, Cedar Falls, alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale, and Maroons go down. And Jimmy, it's been really, it's always tough when your season ends, but you always want it to end where the state championship is held. You'd like to be in the final game, but unfortunately for the Maroons, they are not going to be. And what a year for the Maroons, and they've paved the way for other teams because we have not seen this spot in over 30 years being here in the semifinals. This group, led by the 9 seniors, have done that.
Well, if you go back to the very first game that we broadcast with Dowling, we really talked about the expectations of this basketball team coming in. We knew we had a lot of players back, so a veteran team, a lot of seniors who were going to contribute. And so the expectations were really high. And I thought throughout this entire season, going 21-3, now 21-4 after this game, but coming into the state tournament 21-3, I think they maximized who they were. They knocked off some really talented teams in Waukee Northwest. They knocked off Waukee. They played Ankeny extremely tough. Johnston beat them twice. So they maximized who they were, and they earned their way down to this opportunity. And I thought, some things went sideways in this game to where they got into foul trouble. The turnovers started to add up. They weren't hitting enough threes. They got out of their game plan because of the foul trouble, really dug themselves in a hole that they couldn't get out. But you talked about this senior-led team and these guys, Charlie Crane and Nate Jenkins, Noah Martins, Maddox Capola, those 4, Gio Keelis, those 5 seniors who really were the staple of this team. And to bring on a dominant junior year out of Alfred Coley, you really thought this was the recipe that they needed to really challenge themselves into a state championship game. And I thought this semifinal game just got away from them when the Maroons got into some foul trouble. But I thought they maximized who they were and led this fan base and these parents to a fun ride throughout this entire season.
No question, Jimmy. And you're losing to a team that's been ranked number 1 all year. They've been tested. They went through Waukee Northwest. They got through Dubuque Senior, a team that Dowling beat on Monday afternoon to get here. And you thought, well, you can't do comparative scores, but this is a Cedar Falls team that has been tested. The Maroons tested them. Both had the size. Everybody thought the matchups were great, but the Maroons got themselves, as you mentioned, a little bit of foul trouble, especially with their bigs, and were kind of helpless a little bit at times inside. And then you utilize cold shooting and a chance to come back. Awful tough to come back against a team like this. And Jimmy, you got to look at some of the numbers.
Well, before going through the numbers, you can see where things went sideways for the Maroons. If you look at that first quarter and what the Maroons were doing, I thought they were playing who they wanted to be. They were attacking the scouting report, were playing very aggressive and playing the way they were. And they took a 12-10 lead after the first quarter. But during that first quarter is when they got the foul trouble. And Cedar Falls handed to them. They took advantage of who the Maroons could not be. And they could not be aggressive and outscored the Maroons 18-9 in that second quarter. And therefore outscored the Maroons 18-13 in the third quarter, and things spiraled away. So that's where the Maroons, I think, things went sideways once they got out of their game plan, and a lot of that is attributed to Cedar Falls and who they are, and were able to take advantage of it. So let's go through some of these numbers for the Maroons. Maroons shot 17 of 43 for 31%. Shot 6 3-pointers on the night. Made 6 of 9 free throws. Were out-rebounded tonight, 30-26 by Cedar Falls. Not too many teams are out-rebounding the number 1 rebounding team in Class 4A. 14 turnovers, big margin by the Maroons, led to 46 points. For the Victoria Cedar Falls, they went 24 of 50 from the field goal range, 4 3-pointers, 7 of 11 from free throws, 6 turnovers. Out-rebounded the Maroons, as we said, 30-26, which came out to 59 total points to win by 13 tonight. Today, I should say. I keep saying tonight, but my goodness, we still have a half a day of work.
Well, yeah, it was this morning, and now it's afternoon. We just passed, we're about 4 minutes past noon, so you can say this afternoon, but today's a good, it's tough. Every game we have is at night. Let's take a look at scoring. First of all, for the visitors from Dowling Catholic, as they wrap up their season with a record of 21 wins and 4 losses. They were led by one of their seniors, Noah Martins, with 15 points this morning, and he was followed in scoring by Maddox Capola with 8 points. Maddox, a senior captain. 5 points each for Alfred Coley and for Gio Keelis off the bench with 5 points. Charlie Crane finished with 7 points. And then rounding out scoring for the Maroons, 2 points for Nate Jenkins and 2 points for a 2 guy. A 2 is a 6'7" freshman that was brought up for the postseason. Dowling went 6 of 9 at the free throw line. For Cedar Falls, as they improve their record to 24-0, and they'll play in tomorrow afternoon's 4A state championship game, 3 o'clock tip-off. They were led in scoring by the UNI recruit, Will Gertis. The senior finished with 28 points. He was followed in scoring by Jaden Kimbrough with 10 points. Kimbrough had 3 points at halftime, had 7 points in the second half to finish with 10. Rounding out scoring for Cedar Falls, Leighton Wolf with 7 points, and Parker Burns also with 7 points. Carson Gary with 5 points, and off the bench, Mason Wolf with 2 points as the Tigers went 7 of 11 at the free throw line. Dowling went 6 for 9 at the free throw line. Dowling led at the end of the first quarter 12-10. Cedar Falls outscored Dowling 18-9 to lead at halftime 28-21 over the Maroons. And then the second half in the third quarter, Cedar Falls outscored Dowling 18-13. Cedar Falls led 46-34 going into the fourth quarter and outscored Dowling 13-12 in the fourth quarter to win it 59-46. Well, Jimmy, I think that'll wrap things up. I'm not sure if we're going to get a coach out here. A lot of the teams they go in the locker room. Now they have to go to the media, and I thought we'd get an assistant coach, but this will be our swan song here as we're going to wrap things up on the post-game show. And Brady Grimm, our student producer, we're not going to take another break. We're going to join regular scheduled programming once we're done. So you can play the close once we're done. But, Jimmy, what a year it's been, both on the girls and boys side. You covered the boys with me for most of the year, and what a season we saw. This Dowling team finishing 21-4 and playing in the semifinals. They were ranked 4th, and that's where they ended up in the top 4 in the state, and rightly so. But what a group of kids, and had a great year. We are going to get a coach. My gosh.
Well,
they come wandering in, and I'm looking the other way, and I forgot they switched locker rooms because they're the visitor. But anyway, go ahead. I kind of lead you into something.
As we talked about this, is that you measure your season on how you finish or where you finish. And the Maroon team finished in the pinnacle of the state tournament is down here at Casey Center, and it isn't the final game that they wanted to get to. It was the second to final, but I think they got to where they wanted to get. That was a huge goal that they accomplished. I don't think it was the one goal that they surely set out to get and playing a championship game, win a championship game, didn't get to that spot, but handed to this Maroons team in many of the goals that they did accomplish.
No question, and the climb in that mountain, that all started a year ago with the loss at Marr in the sub-state final. These teams, this group was rallied by their 9 seniors, 4 juniors, 2 sophomores, and the young freshmen they brought up for the postseason. And it all started last year. We're joined now by Zach Nicholson, one of the assistant coaches on the Dowling boys basketball staff. And Coach Nicholson, what a year and what a rise to the top of the mountain. And they were almost at the peak. And they get here this morning and this afternoon, getting to the Final Four. And this group kind of, dug in, got dirty, got physical, got stronger. They lost to a very fine Cedar Falls team who was also the same way. But it was fun to watch this team grow, especially the last 3 years. Some of these kids like Capola and them were on the varsity as a sophomore. So they've been with Coach Einerson and your group for the last 3 years. And unfortunately, it comes to an end today. Thanks for joining us, Coach Nicholson.
Yeah, you bet. Like you said, you can't say enough about that senior class. They've really, they've been in the grind with Coach Einerson since he came over here, and they've got Coach O'Hare's been here for a long time, their freshman year. So, they have won a lot of basketball games. We had their kind of class-by-class record to start the year. We did some senior meetings with them, and they won a lot of basketball games over their 4 years, and they didn't lose a whole heck of a lot of them either. So just can't say enough about those guys. They've really set the foundation, set the tone. They really, really, really bought into going 1-0 every single day. Just win the day. Don't worry about kind of what happens next. Would definitely say that tone was set by guys like Maddox and Nate. It was just something that was really passionate to them. And I think they said it every day when we started practicing our little huddle. It's just like, hey, we're going to go 1-0 today. We're going to get better. And, really they did that all year long. And I think that hopefully the younger guys were watching that, this can be a result of that. We're playing the state championship game in the Final Four and just ran into a team that's really, really good. They're undefeated for a reason. Super well coached. I was super impressed to hear them communicate on the floor. They had scouted really well, so you just tip their hat to them as well. Like, they played really well and just did a lot of really good things.
And if you look at this leadership, now the 10 seniors or the 9 seniors that graduate and 2 of the captains, Nate Jenkins and obviously Maddox Coppola, and Maddox played for football with Jimmy on the Dowling football team that won a title back in the fall. Well, those 2 are the captains, and I look at Nate. He's a young man that transferred over from Johnston, and would have been special if Johnston won and Dowling won. They play in the finals, but here's a kid who came into the program and bought in and was named a captain. That's quite an honor, considering some of the others were there since day one, and that's the type of kid you had leading this program, along with the coaching staff. Obviously, you got to have good leaders in that locker room, and there's 2 of them right there, Coppola and Jenkins.
Yeah, that's it's way, way, way too early to start thinking about who's going to replace that next year. But that can go unmeasured from time to time, just how good of leaders those 2 are. It became pretty rare this year that we ever really had to get after anybody. Those 2 would pretty much just take care of it. If things weren't going the way they needed to in practice, those 2 were just awesome at taking care of it. Noah Martins was a captain for us too as well, and he did a nice job, especially on the offensive end, of just getting guys organized, getting us into plays, telling guys where they need to move to, telling guys what they need to do. And, I think other guys that need to be mentioned, all of our seniors need to be mentioned, can't emphasize that enough. But guys like Jacob Wynn, Drew DeRocher, Jimmy Baumover, who came to practice every day, were scout team guys, and, they just absolutely dominated their role. And I can't emphasize that enough. I think Jacob Wynn got to be the other team's best player all the time just for how skilled Jacob is. Drew was always a guy that we could have do anything in practice, and Jimmy practices maybe as hard as anybody in our program every single day. So I just can't say enough about just the whole group. And I just, we told those guys in the locker room more than anything, it's like we're just going to genuinely miss all of those guys. That whole entire group is just going to be guys that we miss.
And one guy that didn't mention, but I'm sure we're thinking is Gio Keelis. Gio Keelis started the year as a starter, as Maddox was injured and Charlie Crane was injured, and really forced Gio into a starting role, and probably could start at most schools around the CIML, but he took that role of being that first one off the bench extremely well. He was an impact player when he came into the game, but Gio Keelis leaves us as a senior as well.
Yeah, his shooting volume and just how much of a junkie he is for the game is something that we're going to miss immensely. That guy works in the gym all the time, and like you said, he could have pouted, he could have shut it down. When we kind of had to make some of those changes, or once we got guys healthy. But he did a nice job of coming off the bench and being an offensive weapon for us, for sure.
You look at this game that you just played, and you guys were fighting back and got out of who you are because of the foul trouble, and you needed other guys to step up. And I go back to Maddox Coppola, hits a big 3 in the third quarter. You cut it down to 5, and you're right there. And it just, once again, a senior stepping up in an opportune time when you weren't expecting it, and I thought Maddox did that today as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's been the one thing about this group is they scratch, fight, claw all the time. I mean, it just, there's no quitting them. And, that was I don't know, like we said, they fought till the end, and that's what we've asked them to do every day. And we do a lot of pretty tough drills in practice that, I think that they've also bought into, and then you see it on the court like that, and that's just awesome.
Well, it's always fun to end your season at the state tournament. You like to get in the final game, that wasn't possible, but to get back here, someplace that Dowling hasn't been since 1992 is amazing. I don't think the kids understand that because they weren't born, but the history of Dowling basketball, it's good to see them ending at where the state tournament's held here at the Casey Center, and for the final year, because it's going to head to Hilton Coliseum in Ames next year, Coach Nicholson.
Yeah, for sure. One thing about that too is, and I don't know if it's good or bad for our guys, but we really didn't even, I don't want to say they didn't know, but I really don't know if they did know that it's been that long since we had won a game in the first round. So that was probably something that, they just kind of got down here and was just like, all right, let's play ball. And I don't think it was obviously something that they were thinking about, or maybe that they really remember, just because it was the first time with them being in high school that we had got down here. But, it was great to advance, and, like we said, just ran into a really tough Cedar Falls team that defends really well, and, credit to them. They got the ball inside and went at us early, and, they punched us pretty good right away, and we did our best to punch back and just came up a little short.
Well, you think they all had a good experience getting let off on the bus over here at the east exit, and then coming in here and all the stuff you get to do while you're here as a athlete and a player and as a coaching staff. Did you like all that stuff?
Yeah, it was an awesome experience for them. Obviously they're going to be sitting there wishing that we could play one more and get one more chance. But like we kind of talked a little bit at the end of practice yesterday, we practiced until the last day that we possibly could. With the state semifinals being today and then the final game being tomorrow, we were one day short of maxing out our season.
Sure.
So I hope that they have a lot to be grateful for. I hope that they took all this in. I hope they will be able to take the time to appreciate this. I know that, it's the little things with the experience with them, but I know they had a heck of a time coming down here even on Tuesday. They got to wear their badges, their all-session passes. They got to come down and watch the games. And, they know all these guys out here, and they're buddies with some of these guys. So, I hope that they were able to take it all in. I hope we were, too, as a staff and not take it for granted. I think that we know the work that goes into getting down here now, and it's something that, we've got to start to repeat year in and year out and, hopefully become a more regular presence down here.
Well, I appreciate working with your staff, Coach Einerson, yourself, and you go down John Nagel, Coach Young, Coach Nahas, and even Coach O'Hare, working with all you guys, and I see the time and effort you put in with this group to get them back to this level of competing at the state. And I know you put a lot of time in, and I know you were paired up with this guy during the football season. So, Coach Nicholson, you really need a vacation.
That's right.
Hanging out with Cataldo in the fall, and then with O'Hare and Nahas this winter, you need a vacation, Coach.
Yeah, I tell you what, though, when our kids work as hard as they do, you feel like you're letting them down if you don't put the time in. So it's extremely rewarding. We've got just a great culture of hard work at Dowling. And I don't know if when I got here 6 years ago I was really fully prepared for what that really looks like. But I hopefully I've got a decent understanding of it now. And, it's easy to want to put the time into it to not let them down. So.
Well, we appreciate the time that you put in and getting to that level, getting them to that level, and next year's group of the year following. And Zach Nicholson, I appreciate you coming down. It's really tough after a loss.
Thanks,
but
guys.
You'd rather lose here than maybe somewhere else down the line. So you lost here at Casey's, and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Zach Nicholson joined us here on the postgame show, and that'll wrap things up from the Casey Center. I can't say enough about my partners this year, Mike Burkert on the girls' side and Jimmy Cataldo on the boys' side. I really appreciate it. Coach, I know we kid around. Some of that south side teasing maybe gets a little overboard on Iowa Catholic Radio, but that's kind of what it is.
It tells you how long you've been doing this, and I'm starting to get up in those years that we know each other so well that it's like talking in our backyard, watching the game on TV or something. But we have a lot of fun, but appreciate everything you do, Mark. I don't think you get enough thanks for doing this over 40 years, and your passion towards Dowling is, I put it up next to the late Denny O'Grady, and it takes a lot of time to get to know these kids, a lot of time away from your family, and so from me and the rest of the Dowling community, we appreciate everything you do.
I appreciate that, Jimmy, and looking forward to football next year. I probably won't talk to you during football season because you kind of, media, coach, two different things. But now that you're on the media side, you see how things are. I'll give you a tour of Wells Fargo. Where do we leave off?
Well, hey, listen, I just want to be able to have a seat when my career is over in football. I think I would love to have an opportunity to sit and watch a game, call a game with you, and bring a lot more to football than I bring to basketball, of course.
Well, that's not ending because you're back on the football squad. Did a great job with the receivers last year. I did say that on the radio. I just didn't tell you in person, but you really did. And I look forward to it, God willing, this fall.
That's right.
And thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate it. All right, Jimmy Cataldo, my broadcast partner, and we will wrap things up as Game 2 is underway. Johnston taking on Waukee. The winner will play Cedar Falls, who defeated Dowling 59-46. All right, a bunch of thank yous back at the Iowa Catholic Radio studios. all the folks back there. They've done a great job all season long, and that starts with Matt Wilkham, who is our Director of Programming Network Development, now headed to Oklahoma. Our Executive Director of Iowa Catholic Radio, Deacon Mark Campbell. Thanks for all he has done. Aiden Pugh, who is under the weather today, but does a great job of programming assistant at Iowa Catholic Radio, kind of coordinating all the board ops. And, of course, the Chief Mission Officer, Joe Teeling, our thanks to him. And, of course, all the studio and board ops throughout the year, Alexia Baker, Vinny Cataldo, Roman, and Matt Wilkham, and, of course, today, Brady Grimm. We appreciate all you do, helping us prepare and be on the air for Iowa Catholic Radio's coverage of Dowling Catholic High School sports, which for me started back in August with the football season. Our thanks to all of our business underwriters and supporters of Iowa Catholic Radio. And when you hear their names, let them know you heard the game on Iowa Catholic Radio and what a great job all the staff has done. They include Bozen the Florist, Ashworth Vision Clinic, Iowa Wealth Management. Our thanks to Construction Professionals, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, and Fast Signs in Clive. And our thanks to the coaching staff and the athletic folks at Dowling, Tom Wilson, the athletic director and head football coach, Colleen Webb, Jaron Herrig, the assistant athletic director, who was our halftime guest this morning. And for Cedar Falls, head coach Ryan Schultz, we appreciate and congratulate them on the win over Dowling and moving on to the state championship game tomorrow. Head boys coach Justin Einertson at Dowling and head girls coach Krista Marr. Our thanks to them. And our next broadcast will be spring soccer, as we'll have that here on Iowa Catholic Radio, and then we'll have high school baseball and softball on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network this summer, and we'll get those schedules going. For my broadcast partner this morning and afternoon, Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale here on the official radio network of Dowling Catholic High School Sports and Activities, broadcasting on 105.5 FM, KIHS, Ames, Des Moines. And for our studio producer, Brady Grimm, our final score for the final time. The Dowling boys conclude their season as Cedar Falls defeats Dowling 59-46. The Maroons close out their season with a record of 21-4. Cedar Falls moves on to the state championship game tomorrow with a record of 24-0, and they'll take on the winner of the game going on right in front of us, Johnston and Waukee. Tip-off will be at 3 o'clock tomorrow here at the Casey Center in downtown Des Moines. For everybody involved with our broadcast, thank you for tuning in. And from all of us with the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, Mark Amadale wishing you a safe and blessed, faith-filled day.
Dowling Catholic Basketball and Iowa Catholic Radio has been brought to you by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Fast Signs, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Skeffington's Formal Wear, Iowa Wealth Management, and Bozen the Florist. Please support the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The preceding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.